Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is your empowerment coach, Emilee, with 2 E's, and I am so excited to be sharing this space with you today where you can come as you are and we can grow and learn into being our best selves. And today we are going to be diving right into the question around, are you letting life lead you, or are you actively leading your own life? Whew, that's a big one. And I find that this is a great question to really dive deep into as we are on this journey of identifying who our best self is, and where is our best self going. And something else that comes out around all of this is, going with the flow and even being on autopilot. So let's dive into what does it mean when you let life lead you. So a few things that come up when I think of letting life lead you is going to be you're in this space where you're more reactive than proactive. You are really just getting by and you're like doing what you have to do. I feel like you're, maybe like in this body of water, like the ocean, and it's carrying you down different paths and channels, and you're just like going. You're not, swimming the opposite way or navigating, propelling yourself anywhere. And so that's where I find we can get to this place of being in autopilot or really letting life lead us when we're on a journey of becoming our best self, because we are maybe not having this like adrenaline or excitement of these wins of meeting goals or seeing this progress, because we know, or we need to be reminded, that our best self is a labor of love. We are going to take time and effort, work, and really just being intentional about who our best self is in order to get there. And so we don't see this celebration or this achievement. And so sometimes it could be a little discouraging. And then we can kind of fall into this place where we're just kind of like doing whatever and hoping for the best that something else will change. And I want to acknowledge that this can happen when we're on our best self journey, right? There's times where we just get so into this routine, our head is down, we're doing the work, we're trying to be the being, and we have to like pull our head up to gain this new perspective of, where are we at? What is going to serve us best, and what is holding us back? And so that would be something I would ask you to explore if you feel like you're in this place. And a lot of times that's where people are when it's like, okay, this is the pivot that I need to make, right? I need to explore this to be able to pivot and really get on to the right trajectory of where I need to go, like that path. And of course, we're not doing it alone. We have our support system, we have our coach, and all of the things. And so I want to just get back to that thought of being on autopilot and really letting life lead you. And you might be like, okay, well, Coach Emilee, what is it that you're recommending? What do we do, right? And so a lot of times I will talk about the inner work that we need to do. And inner work could come off as like, oh, we got to do more work, right? And so that's why I like to think of being our best self our best self is a labor of love, right? We're not just going to snap our fingers and get there. We have to put in the time, the effort, the intention to be able to grow into our best selves. And so that inner work is part of, in coaching, we talk a lot about the doing based and the being based. And so the doing based is going to be the physical doing the things. It's the making the budget. It's transferring the money to the savings account. It's paying the bills. It's the working out. It's the making the grocery list, all of the doing. Whereas the being is going to be a lot of that inner, what I like to call processing. And so it's the inner narrative that we have with ourselves. It's the perspective that we have of ourselves. It's the mindfulness that we're operating out of. And so if we are doing inner work on building our confidence that we're capable of meeting a goal or of working out, it might be affirmations. It might just be having an awareness around what it is that we're thinking to ourselves as we do certain things. So doing that inner work, it is going to allow us to grow our belief and really be able to build that forward momentum, not just in the mental and emotional capacity, but also in a physical capacity. Because if we believe that we can bench press 1,000 pounds, then we're going to be more apt to show up and go to the gym and work out and try and really push ourselves out of that comfort zone to get there. Now, one thing to explore here is we can get into this phase of autopilot, right? And sometimes I like to think of autopilot as like going with the flow. So is going with the flow a bad thing? Not necessarily. It might just look more of being less mindfulness of what we're doing. So I feel like going with the flow can be linked to doing things, even being things, right? We're doing the work, but we're not associating it or linking to the overall goal or bigger perspective. So going back to the bench press example, we may be getting up and going to the gym and working on our bench press, but we're not being mindful about what are we telling ourselves and mindful of like the weight that we're bench pressing, right? We're not, we're just kind of like doing the motions and like, oh yeah, this is going to come to us. Whereas being present in the flow, we are aware of how much weight we're bench pressing. We might have a plan in place of, okay, today I'm at 450 pounds and, next week I want to be in a place where I'm adding 10 extra pounds, things like that. So we want to really be present in the flow. And when we're present in the flow, I find that it can look a lot like listening to our body or our mind, and then deciding what's going to be best. So let's say if our best self is to be waking up and working out, because we have this overall goal of bench pressing 1,000 pounds, we may find like, hey, I'm just really sore, and maybe I'm going to take a rest day, or maybe I'm going to do push-ups or work on pull-ups instead of bench pressing. Maybe instead of adding 10 extra pounds, we're adding the 5 pounds or 2.5 pounds, whatever it is, but we're still being present in the flow. So we are still navigating our destination. We're maybe just going at a different speed or pace, shall we say. And so really thinking about the difference between letting life lead you and actively leading your life. We're not on this autopilot where we're being mindless. And I feel like being mindful of where we're going, who we want to be, and what's holding us back, all of those are going to allow us to move forward in where we want to go. We just have to be willing to do that inner work because it all plays a part. If we don't think that we can get there, or we don't think that we can bench press 1,000 pounds, we're not physically going to be able to do that because we don't believe in ourselves. If we don't believe in ourselves, we're not going to be mindful about what we're doing and who we're being. We're going to be letting life lead us and tell us lies and all kinds of other things. So all of that being said, I would love for you to tell me, what does your life look like right now? Are you letting life lead you, or are you actively leading your own life? You're in a spot where you're actively leading your life and things, you're mindful, but you're looking like, okay, what's the next game plan? What's the next step up on how I can really grow and strengthen into my next level best self? I would highly encourage you to reach out to me. You can DM below or comment below, and let's partner together so we can help continue to move you forward and really allow you to be present and aware of where you're going and who you're being. And if you're in a place where you feel like life is leading you and you have hardly any control, and that you are just being swept around from thing to thing, and you really want to stand for yourself and say, hey, now is the time for me to be confident in myself and my ability, and really start actively leading my own life. Let's chat, let's work together, let's partner together to see what will help you get to be your best self, so that you can be mindful and you can be aware and present for not just yourself, but your family, your community. And maybe these things aren't your current present state, but these might be things that your best self, that future self, is working towards and you're envisioning for yourself. And if you need help casting that vision for what your best self is, or what that might look like or feel like, comment below so we can work together. I hope that this resonates with you, and I encourage you to stand for yourself today, do that inner work, and really be able to actively lead a life that you love, that you are excited about, and that you want to continue to grow and learn through. Friends, it's been amazing, and I cannot wait to chat. As always, let's connect even further from here. You can find me on Instagram at _Emilee with 2 E's, of course, Hill. And you can find ways how to partner with me in being your best self on my website, emileehill.com. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.